All right, so we got the Northern Pikes here in Riverfest, Bridgewater.
Yeah.
When's the last time you played in Bridgewater?
I don't know if we ever played here, actually. We were out here a few years ago and we did play Port Hawkesbury, a few other places, but I don't think we haven't been out to Riverfest before, so this is going to be fun.
Do you find that the Nova Scotian crowd is very welcoming for Northern Pikes
they're great,
throughout the years?
Oh yeah, for sure. Nova Scotia's kind of like, in many ways, kind of home away from home. I mean, it's good for me. I have one side of my family is from Cape Breton Island, so there's a connection there that I feel really good when I come out here. It feels kind of like second home to me in many ways. I really like it. People are always great. Good crowds. We've always, since square one, since we first got going. Nova Scotia, the whole Maritimes have always been really good for us.
If you guys were quite popular on the old Much Music and stuff with certain videos, because did you take a lot of pride and effort and work to make those videos happen?
Yeah, well, really, we worked, there was a company that did most of them for us called Total Eclipse, and there was a director named Ron Bertie, and he was really the creative guy behind a lot of the ideas that happened with the videos, and he would present it to us, and generally we were on the same wavelength, so we would like a lot of what he did. And, we used a couple other directors later, in our video making career. But Ron was really the guy who did a lot of the, like for instance, he did the really, like Girl with a Problem, She Ain't Pretty, Kiss Me You Fool, all those charted, close to #1 on Much Music. I think Girl with a Problem was actually #1 for 2 weeks, and Kiss Me You Fool was 2, and She Ain't Pretty was 3, or I don't know, something like that. They did well for us.
What would you say is the biggest single? She Ain't Pretty?
The biggest single would be She Ain't Pretty, yeah.
How far did it travel, that song? Would you say the American circuit?
I think it was in the Hot 100 on Billboard in the U.S. And I think it didn't make the top 40, but it made it in there, charted and stuck around there for a little while. And we were touring down there. It did fairly well for us. We also had a video for Things I Do for Money that got a lot of airplay on MTV in the U.S. and in the early part of our career and stuff.
For touring, do you guys keep busy? Do you guys wake up early in the morning, have a hard work day?
Not this morning.
No?
We were, yesterday we left Saskatoon at 6 a.m. and we got into Halifax Airport, I guess around 4 in the afternoon. And kind of vegetated, did a sound check, had something to eat, vegetated, went off to, play the show. It was in a club, so it was a little bit late. And we definitely slept in this morning. There was no, When we go out now, we don't go out for long periods of time. When we go out now, we usually do them in little groups of 3 to 5 shows, that kind of thing, and it sort of works better for us that way. It keeps us sane. We spent many, many years playing like literally almost every night for like long periods of time, and it was on this consistent pattern of tour like crazy and then go straight into the studio and record and then get right back on the road, and that just, for about 5.5, 6 years straight we did that, and kind of burned us out, and that's why we kind of stopped playing for quite a while there.
Right.
And we got back doing it, and it was like, sort of did things at our own pace, and I think we have more fun on the road now than we ever did, because we just sort of do it when we want to do it, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
What's your influences in the past, like to write songs and...
Write songs? Well, when we first got going, I guess I was in a band with Dawn before this. It was called The Idols, and we were a complete original group. We played all our own songs, and we were in we all came up from a bunch of different groups, and Brian was in a band called Doris Day, and we ended up kind of amalgamating and becoming this band in Saskatoon, and we always kind of mixed up a few covers with our own songs, but the whole goal was always to be an original band.
Right.
When we first started writing, I guess that's when new wave music, the first new wave music was really coming out. I really like a lot of the pop groups of that time, like Elvis Costello and Squeeze and Nick Lowe, that kind of stuff, and we ended up really, so that's what really started it, was that whole mentality of nobody's going to do it for you, do it yourself, so let's write our own songs. So, but I mean, for influences, I mean, they're classic rock influences, you know. I mean, I grew up loving the Rolling Stones and the Beatles and the Who and Led
Like
Zeppelin,
everyone else, yeah.
like everybody else, and Pink Floyd, and you name it, you know. And also, you know, I grew up with a lot of folk music around the house, a lot of country music, and a wide variety of things. Those things all wear off on you, you know. They all, you absorb them, whether you think you are or not. Right
Like-
now, we're not, you know, that's the fun thing, is we're not really out pushing an album right now. I guess we're pushing our catalog, you know.
Okay.
We have, geez, I don't know how many records we have. I think we have 12 records in total out, you know. And I guess more than anything, the ones that people seem to want to buy the most right now are probably our two greatest hits. You know, former label EMI has put out one that's called Platinum, and the other one's called Hits and Assorted Secrets. And, you know, our probably our biggest selling album was Snow in June and Big Blue Sky. And really, you know, we have a pretty good catalog of music, so people sort of choose what they like along the way.
You played in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia.
Uh-huh.
Now this is 10, 15 years ago, perhaps. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember. We played in a little club there.
Yeah, the Red Knight.
Yeah.
I do believe. And someone just told me how loud you guys played. Do you guys always play loud?
Oh, were we
Like
loud there?
super? Oh yeah, I guess you're loud.
I don't know. I don't know who was mixing us that night, but that's... I mean, when you're on stage, you don't really...
Because they said it's one of the loudest bands they ever seen.
Oh, really?
Louder than April Wine.
Wow. Well, we try to not blow people away with volume, you know, but I mean, ultimately, we're on stage, we have our levels that we're cool
Right.
with, and it's up to the mixer out in the house as to how loud he wants it. You know.
So it could have been an off night for him. That he just wanted to...
Or maybe it was a great night, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows, you know?
And I heard good things about it, but it was loud.
And it was loud. Well,
Yeah.
if we damaged anybody's hearing, I'm very sorry. We apologize.
Do you use ear protection?
Not on stage, I don't.
No?
You know, I tried it, and I found because I'm singing and playing, I need all the hearing I can get. And I know I've lost a little bit of hearing through the years, you know. And I am conscious of that. Like if I go to a concert, if it gets loud, I put in earplugs. But
Right.
when I'm performing, when I'm playing on stage, I don't really do that.
All right, well, thank you very much, and that's it.
Cool. Thanks, Jason.
Have a great show.
Thanks very much.